Good to hear. Let's hope your execution matches your enthusiasm. I've got a job for you if you're looking to keep busy. Here are the details.
Greetings and welcome to another episode of Soul Talk, where we talk to citizens and members of the community. Today is September 29th, 2022, and we're live on Twitch and YouTube. Hello everyone, I see Ziram, I can never pronounce your name correctly. Cotton Face, how are you doing? Howdy. So yeah, it's been an interesting week. I'm still watching Andor. The first couple episodes was kind of slow, but it got better with episode 3, I gotta say. I'm still playing Tower of Fantasy. That's a new game that I started playing. I'm level 63 out of 80 now. I'm leveling pretty well despite being one-handed, and it's a two-handed game, and horribly undergeared for my level. My current gear level is more like 45, even though I'm 63. But I'm gonna keep at it, see if I can catch up to my level. I love the aesthetics of the game. It's not pure sci-fi, but it's very futuristic, so that's my jam. Let's see who else we got in here. Oops, I'm in the wrong window. Oh, hey, Fitzface, how are you doing? So yeah, Marvel Future Revolution is still dying. Oh, by the way, you can join me on the Radiant server. That's RADIANT, Radiant, on Tower of Fantasy. Marvel Future Revolution is still dying, but I just switched to a new guild, because many guilds are consolidating now that they're among the different servers. But if you want to join Marvel Future Flight, before then, I'm on the Omega Flight server, so you can try to join while you can. The publisher hasn't dropped a hammer on the game, but it could be coming anytime. I'm gonna address that later, Face. I'm gonna address that later. Don't you worry. So yeah, what else? Oh yeah, we had a lot of fun on this past Soul Citizen. There was a talk about Origin. I'm pretty sure people got hammered with the drinking game that we played. I'm not gonna say the word now because I don't want to contribute to that anymore. But yeah, Snobs had me outnumbered, and you can see my title today is Snobs Reject, because you know they're not gonna let me in with the Mitchman. Oh well. Oh, and before I forget, today I would be remiss. Today is Griffin's birthday. Happy birthday to Griffin. I know he's not in the channel right now, but whenever he shows up, people say happy birthday to him. Oh, let me see how old he is. Whoa. Wow, Griffin. So when you were a little boy going to school, did you have to use your feet to make the school bus go forward? Like a Flintstone? I'm asking for a friend. Just wondering. So let me do my thing, and then you can bring people in. I'm nervous about this one. Come along and ride on the fantastic slide, slippery slide. I do what I can to just use a ride. Come along to ride on the fantastic slide, who ride? That's why I packed my F55. Yeah, I'm pretty sure people will know what that one is from. But let's just see what people think, just in case. Gonna write people down now. Give me a moment. Okay, I'm dragging 1, 2, and 3. Hey everybody, doing today by Pot and Face, and you ride the smoke. How are you all doing?
I'm good.
All right.
Yeah, Tyler got it. Rest in peace. Rest in power, Coolio. People saying power now instead of peace.
Well, you gotta remember though, fastcart, that actually the original was late.
I know the original, right? You know, but yeah, I gotta give a shout out to Lakeside. You're right.
If you would have, it would have been better if you'd have saying, well, you know what? No, I'm not even going to encourage it.
Yeah. You want me? You say
I'm
that?
good.
What was that?
I'm good. I'm good. I stopped myself. See, I'm getting ready to disobey my own rules.
Don't be the beast.
No singing.
Rapping is coming. It's semi-fan. Singing is that's why I only gave me that one chorus. Okay. How's everybody doing?
All right.
Good.
Okay.
All right. Hey, so let's get started. Let me get up my window real quick. So we're going to this week's sneak peek.
You have a feedback coming in.
I do?
Yes.
Is it? Okay.
Oh, no, that's me. My bad. No, sorry.
Don't scare me like that, man.
I'm so sorry. I didn't turn down Twitch all the way. I apologize.
No problem, because I didn't change anything. I'm like, what could it be? Because I haven't changed anything. All right, good to know. Thank you for looking out.
No problem.
But yeah, this week's sneak peek, the subtitle is "We Are Sound Engineers Tonight." I didn't get a chance to look up what song that is from before the show. If anyone wants to look it up and tell me, put it in Twitch chat or YouTube chat and let us know. But what do people think?
Well, it's on so it's Argo. So
Yeah, it's Argo.
Yeah, definitely Argo engineering.
Yeah. What it is?
Single seater ship.
Go ahead.
Single seater ship.
Okay.
You think so? That's pretty big for a single seater ship to have double doors in it.
You think it's big? No, I think that's for like a cargo section of the ship.
Yeah, but I don't think so.
Shenanigans says it's the SRV.
I don't know if it's SRV, but it's definitely Argo. It could be SRV. Maybe they're dropping it for SiliconCon. Definitely an Argo ship. Yeah, everyone agrees it's Argo, but which Argo is it? SRV?
Argo BMM.
This is the new Argo beat. The Argo beat is it gives those individual new career field, and they get to go out, and it's like the DJ ship. So you just travel to planet to planet, and that's the kind of, there's a way you go to the store to the left, and then you kind of get your you do your files right, get them everything set up, and little turntable over there. Be fun time. It's gonna be a good ship.
Okay.
I was just wondering how long Admiral's going to go along with that. He kept on going.
I know Fist and Pops already is going to pick one up.
Is it Beast
sounds,
by Dre?
Yeah, right. It sounds promising, but I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I was button. SRV on an unannounced one. I'm guessing SRV. Well, there are a couple of unannounced ships. I can't say that about it shouldn't be one, but yeah, I'm guessing that the unannounced ship wouldn't be Argo because they already put the SRV out, but I could be wrong. That's my guess. The Argo Bagel. Yeah, so it's interesting. We'll see what it is when we get a chance. Probably CitizenCon, because it looks ready to me. I mean, that's from the interior, obviously, but it looks pretty good.
I do know that it's
think it's instructive? Do we think it's instructive at all that they show us this room, continue to emphasize components that maybe both Argo and some advancements on.
Yeah, see,
resource
that's how
component
you build up hype and get people disappointed. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, fair enough.
I see what they mean, yeah, but I don't. I think that's just their angle that they chose to put the screenshot at. But you could be right, but I wouldn't put too much stock in it.
But this wouldn't be the SRV, would I mean, because the SRV doesn't have a back room like that, does it?
I forget how big the SRV is supposed to be.
It's
I know it's a tugboat, but
Yeah, it's just a tug. Well, I guess it would have a mate, but it wouldn't have a. Why would it have a back a door like that?
I mean, it could have a door like that, but I don't know about the engineering department. Like,
Well, I mean, I can understand the engineering compartment, but what if it's just a tug? What? I don't know.
can someone look up the concept for the SRV for me? And
Actually doing it right now.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Because I forget that step.
Because I want to see what's inside of it.
Yeah, I didn't pick it up, so I don't remember that much about it. But yeah, so while I'm looking that up, we are sound engineers tonight. Anyone take a guess where that's from? Nope, guess not. Nope, doesn't look like it.
I already gave you my guess.
What?
I already gave you my guess.
I can't understand. I
already gave you my guess. It's
you already gave my guess. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, the Argo Beach, right.
Okay.
Maybe it's Gloria Stefan. We're going to turn the beat around with the Argo beat.
Hey, Soul Citizens is in the house. Happy birthday, Griffin. Everybody say happy birthday to Griff.
Happy birthday, Griff.
Turn the beat around with Vicky Sue Robinson. Yeah, that's Vicky Sue Robinson.
Okay,
Griff, happy birthday, man. One more time around the sun.
Oh,
brother.
okay.
One more time
I think
around the sun.
You know,
Okay, so it's from the song "Your Bass Surrounds Me."
See, even better.
So, because it starts off with the chorus saying we are sound engineers tonight, say it 4 times.
I'm gonna make this bigger.
Okay.
Hold on now. I got.
Never heard the song.
Hey, Alex Dudog, it's your birthday too? Happy birthday to you. Oh, yeah, so did you look up, did you get the link, Tsunagi?
Well, yeah, I'll send you the link, but I'm looking at the pictures here.
Did you put the link in chat, please? So we can all look at it?
All right. So, I say if you scroll down and then look at the scrolling left-right page on the bottom.
I am going to put it in the window for people to see real quick. Okay, so scroll down.
Yeah, see that it shouldn't have a back door. It shouldn't have a back compartment door.
I don't know what the scale is that is. Well, there's a person right there, so it could be 2 people or 3 people in there, but yeah. Oh, you're talking
Are you
about
looking
this
at
part?
it? Yeah, look at the gray part. It's gonna turn to like the gray section with the white figures. Yeah.
Yeah, so it can't be that shit.
But they definitely are going down.
Keep going down.
Yeah, maybe.
Unless those doors are into the cockpit for some reason.
Something, yeah. You're right, BB. Yeah, I just thought about that. It
Go
could
down
be
one more, fastcart.
something else. It could be the bathroom, the door to the bathroom. That's what it is.
Okay, yeah, this page, and on the right, with the little dots there.
The document, or the downloaded brochure.
No, right above it. Right above it. Right above it.
Read the brochure.
No, right above it.
What? This
Like,
part? The measurement?
Go above that part with the little dots, and it switches
Oh, this
screens and
part.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay.
So like right there,
Okay.
that picture with like the people, and you can, if you zoom in there, you can see like I don't see how that door fits in that location at all.
Now it
Yeah,
makes
the
sense.
Zoom doesn't work on this. On this one. But yeah.
But
let
people,
me see if I
people
can
can look
explain
at it.
But that ostensible wall between the room of 2 and the room of 1 could be that door.
Yeah, they could have ignore that. You're right.
But why would that ship have a area like that though? I mean, it's just it's a tow.
It's probably
I
to
think
help
everything-
calling.
Well, and it has seating here, and a table looks like it has room for folks, a tug
Yeah.
crew to hang out and do multiple tugs and
Mhm.
maybe get
Okay.
lunch.
Yeah.
But this for
Yeah,
me is
Griffin,
an example
I
of how.
agree. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
What did Griffin say?
Oh,
Yeah, the
I
SRV
just-
is bigger than most people think it is,
Yeah,
and I think
exactly.
it's a outcome of Cloud Imperium upsizing most ships
Mhm.
across the board.
Mm.
Yeah, so I mean, going back to the picture, let me go back to the picture while I'm talking about it. It could be that.
Well, it is.
It could be that.
Yeah, it would be my guess. Yeah. I didn't know that there was a back part to it. I thought it was just
Yeah, single seater.
seater.
I mean, bottom line, if this is the SRV, this is the only place that could be,
Right.
Yeah.
given that blueprint. Otherwise, it'd have to be another ship, another Argo ship.
Yeah, going back saying it's going to be close to the size of a raft. You could be right. It's reasonable.
Hmm.
That's big. That's bigger
So what
I
is
thought.
that, Kusanagi?
So that's the interior shot. I kind of blew it up a little bit.
Okay, that I can do. Well, I think we had enough for that for now. But yeah, I think this consensus is that it's probably the SRV. If it's not, it's an unannounced ship. But I don't see them doing two ships of the same manufacturer, one being announced and the other one being unannounced. So yeah, probably the SRV. That's my guess.
Yeah.
All right. So up next we have Star Citizen Live from last week, from Friday. I didn't get the name Patrick, I want to say. Or maybe they talk about Patrick in this show. But yeah, they talk about out of character because they wanted to have someone else on there, but they had to reschedule. So this is an hour long. Oh shoot, I forgot to take my notes. Did anyone watch the Star Citizen Live this week, or the Nuba Fires, or someone else summary?
I watched it, but they were just like, you know,
Chatting.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was more like
Yeah.
Meet the Dev, like a previous time. But yeah,
Yeah, and I watched like maybe halfway through, and I'm like, well, they're just, you know, hanging out, boy talking.
it seemed like a fun show. But they were the New Fire had like 4 minutes of summary in it, so they talk about stuff. This is Damien DeVoe. Okay, Damien DeVoe, and he's new at the Terminal for the character art team. That's who he is. So Damien DeVoe. Sorry about that.
Right, because
So,
he was
yeah.
talking about people that he knew and that he worked for, and they just kind of went on and on about that for a while.
I'm going to turn on this is the New Fires show, and have the closed caption on so people can get some information from it. But yeah, like you said, they're gonna have someone else, but they had to reschedule. But yeah, I did watch it. I want to say I watched it live or watched the YouTube video, but it was last week. So everything happened between now and then. I kind of forgot. But yeah, check it out if you're interested. Up next we have, continuing from my previous conversation last week about NVIDIA, DLSS3, Whoopstar, sound like something from Boston. Anyway, yeah, Whoopstar wants to know, are you going to support DLSS3? It looks promising. And Sylvan CIG said, we are very interested in DLSS, but as already said many times, we need Vulkan first. Once that's in and working, we will reevaluate the situation and you will hear about it more from it from us. Also, Star Citizen is more CPU bound, so DLSS won't give you any benefit at all in the CPU bound scenario at the moment, since DLSS optimizes the rendering speed of the GPU. The higher resolution we have to render, the more benefit any upscaling techniques will give you. Once we better optimize the CPU side of things and we hit the GPU limit more and more, this will become more of an interest to us. So, what are people's thoughts?
Well,
I mean, it's cool. I'm glad they are interested in it to definitely look at. I mean, they have to try to follow, um, the technology that these graphics cards are putting out there. But like they said, I mean, first of all, they have to get a certain piece in first for them, and then to be able to explore those other options. You know,
Yeah, because AMD will have their version.
exactly. I mean, because AMD has what FX,
Yeah,
Melody FX.
yeah.
And this just
So,
reiterates,
Mhm.
go ahead.
where this just reiterates where the game currently is. We're still using the CPUs as the primary workhorse for Star Citizen, and you could throw a 3090 into it, and you still, if you have a junky CPU, it's not going to really do you much good.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
that's the
To your
thing.
point, I built a new PC last year, and I'm not to say I was disappointed when I played Star Citizen, but I went from like 28 FPS to 38 FPS. But it's better now with the more optimization and stuff like that, or whatever they're doing in game. But when I first turned it on, I was like, oh man.
I will say that the best improvement I had over improving my graphics card and my CPU was the RAM. Like everyone says, like, the standard here is like you should have a
Make sure
minimum
you
of
run an
16,
SSD too.
and you should really have at least 32, and now I'm running 64. So if you can afford it, or if your rig can accept it, then I highly recommend going to 32.
Or you can wait till the game is finished and optimize it, and probably can get away with 16.
Well, and don't forget that folks like Dig That have put out videos on budget PCs
Oh yeah.
and the components that you can emphasize where you can still get reasonable frame rates. He was getting 30 with pops to 70 on a $550 build. So
Now,
you
yeah,
just
very
gotta
nice.
you just gotta be there's still range in the types of PCs that you can have. For as far as DLSS is concerned, for me, I think that you're going to see additional DLSS iterations and innovations from NVIDIA before CIG has begun the full process of optimizing on the CPU side to even drive to the GPU side. So I thought this was a great statement to manage everybody's expectations. To your earlier point, Fastcart, we want to make sure that things that pop up, that CIG goes, this is how this is going to fit in right now, that you don't get too excited.
Now, let me ask you, Big Black, exactly what does DLSS do to help us gamers?
It's upscale.
So, yeah, it really allows you to have, you can have it manages your resolution and it scales your resolution such that you can essentially experience a higher resolution with lower hardware, right?
Okay.
And so for the user, it'll look like a resolution where you want to be, but you may not have. Let's say you have a monitor that does 1440 or 4K. You can get that resolution with DLSS, and NVIDIA will use its this feature and its cards. And AMD has a version of this as well. That will allow you to maintain frame rates and still get most of look and resolution quality that you want from that increased resolution. And so that was exciting when it first came out. It first came out around the Horizon Zero Dawn era when that game was launched. And
who has a? Oh, I'm sorry. Get BB. I thought you were done.
No, that's it. That's why it works for us, because it allows you to get more out of what you have, and up your frame rates. So it's nice.
You know who has a good video on the new one? Digital Foundry. They did a small test on it with Spider-Man, and it shows you the improvement in the movement. So yeah, if you get a chance, look it up. Digital Foundry.
Can you put it in videos and media chat when you get a chance, Pops?
Oh.
Not right now, but whenever you get a chance.
Yeah.
I was remiss. I forgot to say, if you want to come and join us, talk with us, can you come on in? Oh yeah, I forgot to say hi, Big Back Laming. Welcome to the show. I'm late on that. Sorry about that. But yeah, come
It's
on
okay.
in.
Hi.
Hi. Yeah, come on in. Click the link below, and or click the link that I posted, and come in and talk with us. Oh yeah, so I wanted to address. I was Squadron. We don't normally take questions at the end of the show, so I just address it now. Any idea when the PTU is going live? So I want to find my Corsair. Any? When take a guess when the PTU is going to go live? What?
Don't know.
Don't
Ends
know.
of next month.
Next month.
Christmas.
Well, I mean, next month is only two days away, so it could be.
No,
I mean, they
yeah,
haven't
for
gotten
the
the Evocati yet, so I mean, as far as I understand it, so I don't know if we have a link for it, but there was an email that or a Spectrum link that went out, I think today. I'll check it if it's in our schedule here. But I think they're a little delayed on the Evocati release. So so Evocati has to do their thing. That could take, they said originally it could take months. They were putting it. So yeah, I'm gonna say Christmas.
Yeah, Jared said 3/18 in November. I'm like, I don't know if you want to give it that date, Jared. That was an IST. You'll see it later. I don't know if you want to give that date, but he did, so we'll see.
The fast card doesn't 3/18 continue to be tied to the expo?
Is that the expo?
Yeah, I think that's why they're trying to hew to that date, because the expo features are going to be tied to it. So they may have to your point.
You may have to push it.
Well, they may have to have some pre-expo iteration that isn't quite 3/18.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough. Like either they make a 3/17/3 with the expo or 3/18, and I'm like, we'll see, because I can imagine
So many different.
Go ahead.
So many different. I was going to say so many different external people get invited to the expo, right? Like that's really a time when people go, "Hey, come check out the game."
Yeah, I don't know if you want to do that with this particular build.
That's right. That's exactly right.
I hope there's no free fly this time. Please don't let it be a free fly on this build, please.
You know they go do it.
I hope.
You know they gotta
really
do it. From a business standpoint, they have to do it.
They do.
They could push that back 6 months and let it get stable, and a point 1 or 0.2 patch, and then say, hey, come on in, free flight.
Yeah, that's gonna be an experience. Hopefully, it's not as bad as I'm guessing it might be, but we'll see. And they don't want to hunt Buggy Holiday, I know. Well, yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, yeah. Keep expectations low, but keep your hopes high, I guess. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
I got a question, Pascal.
Go ahead.
Before we change topics, like when we do get 3/18, how long do you think we'll have it before the next patch comes out? Or whatever.
Months. At least 2. I want to say more than a quarter. If that makes sense. I guess.
I was thinking
That's my guess.
probably about this time next year.
Oh, well, I mean that would be more than a quarter at least.
Oh yeah, that's more than a quarter.
Yeah. Griffin want me to say something, I think. Okay, I guess not. Alright, so moving on. Oh yeah, someone asked a question. Oh, Citizen Shenanigan asked about DLSS. He wants to know if intelligently calculate extra pixels without going through the rendering pipeline, or is that another thing? Real quick, does anyone know what that is?
Watch the video.
That's the correct technical answer that I couldn't give.
Right. Watch the video. It explains a lot of things. And it gives you a lot of detail in it. Again, Digital Foundry.
Okay.
He does a really good.
So check out Discord and media videos, and the links should be there.
Share it. Oh, I'm trying to get it.
While you're doing that, I'm going to go to the next topic, which is Twitch integration. Just put up a Galactapedia CIG a couple of days ago. And hello, everyone. As you might be aware, I'm reading from monthly reports. We're working on overhaul the community hub, and we need your help. We're currently testing our connection to the Twitch platform and the backend of the new hub. To ensure the integration is working as intended, we'd like to ask as many of you as possible to add your Twitch account to your profile for the first time or disconnect and reconnect the channel to see if you had it previously added. Connecting your account now is a great way to get a head start and possible spotlight when the new community hub goes live. To do so, head to your outside profile, that link right there, and look under the Twitch section, and you'll see an add button directing you to the integration. The connection will display the stream on the community hub while broadcasting Star Citizen. So I want to thank you in advance for their help. So yeah, I did it. I didn't have any problems. Other people did it. People had a lot of problems. That's my understanding. Oh, there's another follow-up from Zach Capella. This is currently only to support displaying your streams on the community hub itself, similar to how the hub has worked in the past. But yeah, some people are having issues, so hopefully they'll get it worked out soon. Has anyone tried this? Nope.
I get it up on Twitch.
Just learning about it today.
When they make one for YouTube, I got you.
Yeah, I put my Twitch channel on there. It was no problem.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem either. I did it on the day that came out a couple of days ago. I didn't have an issue, but I didn't have my account link before, so maybe that's what it was. But hopefully they'll get the issues worked out. Alright, so moving on to Galactapedia update for September 2022, even though this is August right below that. But the Arctic system, like in this month's Galactapedia update, they have a full-length article about Hitbox, one of the UE's most popular game magazine. I've seen a couple of those articles. The Nexus system, Nexus 1, 2, 3, I don't even know how to pronounce that. El Kyber system, Dean Color's final hiding spot, the Lego or Lago UEN local home, the Red God, probably not supernatural, the Odin system, Gainy, the Odin 2, Billy, home of the Wally station, Odin 3, 4, a Redder system, Redder 1, Perse, Research, or Ricer, Mentor, Retro 5, almost said V, Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. I wonder what the update is for that. But yeah, check those out if you're interested in the Galactapedia entry.
Oh, wait a minute! I do want to touch base on these, because for the first time, I've done this before. I've looked at them before, but these are really, really cool. They're actually like the Nexus system. I think is 3 jumps from Stanton. It's like 1 or 2 beyond Nyx. And in the opposite direction, it's either, I think it's Odin when you go the opposite way, and it's like another 2 or 3 jumps. So it's kind of, they may be showing us, what their primary focus is right now. Certainly, like Lago is really cool in terms of in the Nexus system, because it actually, the UEE gave it up. And then eventually, after like the corporations, failed or whatever, pirates went in there, and then the UEE is now taken over the Lago planet. I think it's the planet Lago, and it's like a stronghold. So I can imagine people, and they're trying to take over the system from pirates. So imagine like missions and stuff like that. Like you going in there, you have a good, strong reputation with the UEE, or the UEN, excuse me, with the Navy, and then you try to fight pirates in there. And then also, it's interesting they talk about Odin 3, which is supposed to be this really cool, like fossil dig site, and the whole planet has like really good skeletons of animals like long ago, and that might be also like that could be a science vessel, like planet, and then instrumentation's like going down there. Like we haven't really talked about science at all from Star Citizen. We have like 2 ships that have talked about. And one's tiny, like a Tana, and the other one is the giant hospital ship, whatever, the Endeavor. The Sen, the Sen and the Endeavor. So, we haven't seen these like little tricorders yet that might be used for something like this. So, this is possibly other career fields that they're kind of like say we could maybe get onto that. So, Raytheon Tube pulling out a weird science lingo there, but I really just think, and like Reese and Mentor, it seems to me that like these planets here are actually like the new MIT and Harvard University of the UEE systems, really, out of all of them.
If you're going to make that comparison, you got to say MIT and Caltech, not Harvard.
And Caltech. I'll throw Caltech.
Do you mean Percy? I mean Percy or Reese?
It's Percy, and I think Reese is and Mentor are the planets within that system.
Gotcha.
So if I get this right, I have it open. I can look it up. Yeah, Percy, and there's Reader 2. So I think it's it's Percy, and then there's 2 or 3 different planets. But Percy is an actual planet, and then there's Reese and Mentor.
Sorry, Habibi, do you want to say that out loud for us?
Oh yeah, I was just saying, don't forget that Squadron 42, as we already know from some of the content that we've seen, includes activity in the Odin system. So some of the things that intrigues Admiral Kusanagi and does intrigue me, like the fossil dig site, we may see features of planets in system in that game too. So we may be able to experience Odin in the single player campaign, maybe, and certainly we hope that the mission system will expand with different types of missions, given these different types of settlements.
Yeah, it's a great point. That's an excellent point. That because we're, it's Squadron 42 is going to be 3 separate games, but the first chapter should probably is going to be around that area. So I would imagine Odin being one of them. And then also the last one is the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. And I was a little surprised by that. And I might have heard this before, but it's actually what we're getting every year on the Stanton system is one of their satellite exhibitions. So apparently there's another one that's far larger that it's always at, but what they've done is have these little satellite expositions around the galaxy so people can enjoy them as well. So it would be interesting to see what that looks like in the future. So this one was actually a cool read and makes me want to kind of go back and see what I missed.
Yep. All right, cool. Thank you. Yeah. So
and just real quick before you go on, for those that are new to Star Citizen that might have come to the wonderful Soul Citizens channel, don't forget that there is a channel of Star Citizen content on YouTube called Lore Maker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah.
They go deeper on many of these systems as well. The same folks who are involved in Galactapedia and lore updates do that. And they've done there's not a lot updates now because they've done so many, right? So there's a lot of content out there for you to consume and get excited about some of these systems.
Welcome, Raytheon 2, to Star Citizen community. I hope you enjoy your stay here. All right, moving on. Thank you all for that information. We had the roadmap roundup. I can't even say the words correctly today. But yeah, so notable changes for September 28, 2022 release review. The following cards have passed their final review for Alpha 3 to 18. Therefore, we are changing the status to committed. The Daemon crash site. I'm not going to read all that, but that's their thing. Oh, well, I just say they're using the settlement for using parts of the Star Runner and 600i. And I don't know why they called it the Star Runner. For called Mercury, they dropped the Star Runner name, but they said Star Runner. And the Great Cat PTV racetrack. I am interested in that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Matter of fact, they talked about that today in ISD, which we'll get to in a bit. So yeah, anyone else excited for either of these?
I'm doing a lot of talking, but I'm excited for both of these.
I'm excited for it too.
Great Cat PTV.
The shots that we saw of that crash site and the way that they've inserted that 600i, and we'll get to the video from today later, but I'm excited about the updates there. And then the Great Cat PTV racetrack, I'm loving the direction that that's going. That looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. And my hope is that they get learning from this, begin to think about how they want to do racing and gambling over at Grim Hex.
Exactly. I was getting ready to say that though, BBG. I wonder if they're going to be able to put that in the game, over there.
Yeah, I keep looking at that section over at Grim Hex and going, soon, soon TM.
All I gotta say is, makes me a member of the Pointer family because I'm so excited. Not even no grown.
NPC crowds around the sides.
We're just used to you. You're a community treasure. We're used to you.
No, I'm a snob reject today. Alright, so moving on. This is from Galactapedia. Talk about if they were honest. Let me scroll up to get the original post. They were honest, but when CIG said last part of September, they meant the last part. If they're targeting early November for live release, the 2-3 month PT is no longer needed because now it's pretty much October and they're mere 30 days away. So, hello everyone, from Galactapedia. You wanted to give a quick update of the status of 3.18. We're eagerly awaiting the first build to release the over avocado. We've been testing heavily with our internal QA group across our studios with great results, with quick turnaround on bugs being tracked down during general server behavior. But yeah, they continue on, and we greatly appreciate your patience in getting through this process. Persistent industry streaming is a massive technological endeavor, and we thank you all for bearing with us. So yeah, it's coming soon, TM. Then that's the update from Galactapedia about the regard to 3.18 hitting PT. Oh yeah, any thoughts about that before we move on?
As I said, they're pushing it. You know, it's going to be a little slight delay, so we'll see what happens.
Yep.
I'm okay with it.
Yep.
It's coming. And when it gets here, it's going to be awesome. And
hopefully it'll be awesome.
But awesome.
But I appreciate a lot of bugs, but hopefully I'm in the wrong. I'm being too pessimistic.
But even with the bugs, it's still gonna be fun.
Depends on the bugs. But yeah, see, these are some tweets from the official site. Join us in congratulating the winners of the 9-cell screenshot contest. Which one is your favorite? Hopefully you guys all can see. I'm going to show these. This one is from Mr. Haskaha. He's first place winner. That's from the 9-cell screenshot contest. Next one is from SC Neojet. And the last one is from Stricklord. So out of those, which one is your favorite? I go back. This is one from Oscar Ha. This is SG Neojet. And this is Stricklord.
I'm not going to say number 2 because somebody I do know, happy birthday, will get mad at that photo.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, that's.
Alright, so anyone else?
Is the one that's that you got it on now?
Yeah, that's Oscar. I don't want to hit first place winner, right?
Yeah, I would have to say Hoska. My it's just my opinion because of the lighting.
Yeah, he's always so good with his lighting.
Composition of the whole shot.
It's just perspective. He knows what he's doing.
It says.
Yeah, I mean, he's been doing it for 8 years now. I want to say at least.
And you feel like you understand. You feel like you can understand. You feel like you can understand who these different factions are just by the positioning, the lighting, and the setting, the way that this is laid out. You recognize that there's some intention here. It feels right. So yeah, I like it a lot.
I thought he's tired though too. That's the thing. I thought he retired from doing.
Maybe he came back just one last time.
Okay. I thought he was running his own contest.
Yeah, he is running his own contest. As far as I know, they're still doing that.
He's great at it, though, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the reason why he retired because he kept on winning, and people got tired of him winning. I mean, honestly, that guy has won so many contests. He must have every step in entertainment by now. But congratulations again to Oscar Ha, SC Neojet, and Stricklord. Oh yeah, this is from the China busters, and I almost said Korea, but the Chinese Starship community. They built a retribution, and more HD videos are coming. But I'll show the video in a moment. But this is the retribution. The table and everything kind of shows the scale, but it's huge. Graphics at 15 or 17 feet. Yeah, oh my God, the retribution, I know. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. It got the lights and everything going on it. And right there below, oh, they didn't show it, but they have a model MSR too, but that's not in the picture. So yeah, you can tell that thing. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Oh my God, look at the detail on this thing. I don't know how long that. Is anyone a 3D printer person in here?
No, but I know someone who is on Twitter. She is really good at it.
No, I was just wondering how long it would take to print all this.
I mean, from what I can tell, I remember asking her. Shout out to Mighty Heidi. She does like a lot of prints for like if you ever seen like the helmets, the kitty helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did a 3D print. I mean, it's a life-size helmet, and like you can actually put it on your head. And everything. So I think that helmet, I would probably have to say, she said maybe, I'm guessing again, about 6 hours just for that helmet. So you got to figure for a 3D printer, this right here, that's probably weeks.
No, I want to say months.
Well, I mean, like I said again, I don't know. It's
They got up a couple of printers running for it.
Yeah,
I mean, okay,
because
fine. Yeah,
yeah,
okay,
you
that's
definitely
it. I was thinking about one printer going at it for.
Oh no, come on,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But yeah, you're right, multiple printers. And right there, you can see on the corner. I'll wait for it to come back, but that's the model MSR they did. That's pretty cool too. I think it'll come back at the end of the video.
Is it
That's thick. Go ahead, Pops.
That's cool,
is that a scale, the MSR compared to the Retribution?
No way.
No, it's not the scale. It's not the scale at all. The MSR will be tiny compared to that.
That's what I thought. Okay. All right.
Tiny.
Sure. Because it looked awfully.
It'll be like
it looked
smaller,
awfully big.
It'll be like smaller.
Little speck of dust.
I was gonna say smaller than your fingernail. Is my guess. Cause I think it's kilometers long. I want to say 8 kilometers.
93?
Maybe?
I think it was said it was like 93, or maybe over 100.
I don't know about that. Let me see if I can find the. It may not have it on a spec sheet.
Yeah.
Let me see. The tracker. Go to.
It's 2.7.
2.7 kilometers.
Yeah, 2,700 meters.
Okay. And there go the
which is crazy to imagine.
Yeah.
Crazy to imagine.
That's pretty big.
I mean, if you ever read a 5K, imagine half that length being a ship.
I love that the cargo door open.
That's crazy.
Okay, let me pause on that. Yeah, that's the model MSR right next to it, but yeah, definitely not the scale. So that's 2.7 kilometers.
They did pretty very good with that, the lighting, all of that.
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly. Yeah, I know. So yeah, this was tweeted by the official RSI account. This is from the China Voice Citizen that happened this past weekend. So they had quite a few people there, as you can see. And yeah, I wish I wish they could do like a making of video for this thing, because that would be interesting to watch. So hopefully they'll put more information.
Yeah,
Now I heard that there was discussion about Asian servers there, but I don't remember seeing anything from CIG about that. Anybody see any response from CIG about that?
I think someone, maybe Kusanagi, did you put some details about that meetup or?
Yeah, there was it wasn't really. Let me try to find it. It wasn't like. It was more like there was a Q&A here, I guess. You could see like in the back, you see like let me see if I can track it down. I don't know who they were Q&Ing, but see if I can track this down.
Some CIG members went out there.
Oh, did they? Oh, I imagine so. You're probably right. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is?
I'm pretty sure. I mean, maybe I'm mistaken, but or maybe it's Korea. Yeah, that is impressive. Are you close to finding it?
Yeah, give me a quick second.
All right, so yeah, this is pretty impressive. I can imagine, like, this will give JRD fabrication a run for their money.
So what I'm looking at here is the It said that SIG will open new Asian game servers in the future. Locations that they mentioned include Hong Kong, South Korea, Singapore, Thailand, India. They're also adding more payment methods for people overseas. Alipay will be added for the Chinese users. And they're going to have, they have 400 million and 500 million rewards that they haven't started development yet, but they are coming to the Star Citizen community.
When you say that, you mean the crowdfunding, $400 million?
I think, yeah, I think when we hit 400 million, there should have been, if you were a backer at that time, you should get like a jacket or a hat or whatever it is for your character. And then looks like easy anti-cheat will remain the anti-cheat solution for the foreseeable future. Concierge levels or rewards will be improved in the future. The core of multi-crew gameplay is going to be resource management and different player roles on ships, so PES and meshing are needed for this. And then Pyro has a completely different art style compared to Stanton. The system is more of a place to explore rather than to live in, like you would at Hurston or something like that. So that's from the Q&A.
Thank you for that.
It was probably a lot more going on, but that's
the highlight. Yeah,
the summary that I've seen.
Cool. Thank you very much. But yeah, that's the.
Thank you very much for that. That's great.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah, that's the retribution from the Chinese backers. Pretty impressive. Speaking of CitizenCon, save the date. You only got 8 days, 13 hours until CitizenCon comes up. Hey, Pickle Skin.
Don't be adding days now.
Yeah, I know, right? So yeah, save the date, October 8th, 8 days. Alright, so I guess with that's just a quick reminder, because we already talked about that last week. So with that, we're going to come up to Inside Star Citizen. This is 15 minutes long, so grab a drink, grab a snack, and enjoy.
It's a time of change here at Star Citizen. The Frankfurt office has moved into their new digs. The Winslow office prepares to migrate to Manchester starting next week. Our CitizenCon presentations are looming just 9 days away. And much of the focus of our development teams at present is in preparing for the upcoming Alpha 318, with persistent entity streaming that serves as the foundation not only of server meshing in Alpha 4.0, but everything else in the persistent universe as well. And since Alpha 318 is now scheduled to arrive in the first half of November, and ISC enters scheduled hiatus the next few weeks, we thought we'd take the opportunity to try something new with our last episode of the quarter. A follow-up to each of the 318 related feature segments that we've done this quarter, looking at how they've continued to grow since we last showed them to you, answering your questions that you had after watching, and rolling them all into one big supersized report that we're calling the ISC follow-up. Because we're really, really good at naming things. Enjoy.
So since updating you on the rivers earlier this year, I've been focusing on the visual quality of the rivers themselves, so that when you explore them, they are looking better than ever. I think the biggest visual change I've introduced to the rivers is the new cliff spawn points. Previously, where we had steep edges along the river, we just had the terrain texture that we get on steeper parts of the terrain. But I wanted to kind of increase the visual fidelity of this by spawning cliff meshes along the edge of it. So that's exactly what we've done. For the cliff mesh spawn points, we add a new spawn point at the height of where the terrain would have been if the river wasn't there, so that we can control where the top of the cliff is relative to the edge of the terrain near it. And that's these red spawn points you can see here. When I turn these back off, you can see we have cliff meshes that look as if they're the right height. You can walk onto them from this terrain here, while still providing a nice kind of closed-in gorge for this river. And actually, we were so happy with the results of adding additional spawn points around these gorgy areas that we decided to add more spawn points along the edge of normal rivers as well, so that we can get rocks right along the edge of the water to break up the silhouette between the terrain and the water. You can see those points here, and when I turn back on the scattering, you can see what that looks like. So as you can see, that really helps to break up the silhouette of the water, but also makes the whole area feel denser and more real. Another visual improvement I've worked on for the river is using more splines with the river modifiers. Instead of just a single central spline along the path of the river, we now have a spline for where each of the edges can be. And this gives us much finer control over how the terrain should dip down into the river, which is what actually matters rather than the depth at the middle for most cases. But it also means that we eliminate some of the effects we were getting at sharp bends. What we used to get at the sharp bend of a river was a pinching effect in the middle here, where the terrain would jump from referencing a point somewhere here on the spline to referencing a point somewhere here on the spline. So you can see that they're basically equidistant from a point over here. So we'd either be referencing the terrain from one or the other without ever kind of passing through this middle bit. Now that we have a spline for each edge, we can pick which edge is closer and then more closely reference that when picking the final height for that part of the terrain. And it just means that the edges of our rivers are much, much cleaner. We're getting much less in terms of artifacting that we were seeing before, and the overall result is just a lot better in my opinion. I'm really, really excited to see all of the new rivers come into 3.18 very, very soon. Put a lot of work into improving the visual quality of the rivers, as well as improving the tooling for our artists to be able to place more and more interesting rivers. Our tech artists have been hard at work for the object presets for the rivers to make sure that we're getting really, really cool distributions of objects around them. And I just think what we're going to see in 3.18 is going to be a cut above what we've had so far, and I'm really looking forward to it. Thanks all.
Since the last time we spoke about the PTV racetrack, it's been mostly just bug fixing. For the most part, it's been like the usual occasional collision issue we had to fix up. Also, there was like instances where RQA testers just took the card and went off the track and like drove into the elevators and got into other parts of the level. So I kind of had to go around and fence off all the areas where people could leave the track. Also, just in some cases, on like inside the track, there was little shortcuts that could be taken. So also these ones had to unfortunately block them off so nobody can gain an unfair advantage. One of the things we didn't discuss last time is where the buggies actually come from. So they're not something the players bring themselves into the space. There is this little side section of the track where they spawn, and you take them and then just kind of bring them over to the starting line and start from there. And when they're destroyed, then they basically respawn in that section again. So there's always 8 buggies for the players. I can't wait to see what players will do with it once they get it in their hands.
Since the last time we spoke, Korea has changed a lot in its environment. We've been sort of building up and sort of breathing new life into it, making it on par with some of our other locations in terms of branding and sort of how we want the player to move through the space. With this, CS1 and 2, Crimestat 1 and 2, are no longer going to be things that get you shot or get you, stop you from landing at a location. These fines will essentially just be like mini slaps on the wrists. Law enforcement will comment on them when they stop you and tell you to go pay your fines off, but they're not going to be as big of a meaning as they once was. Alongside this, we've also added other ways for the players to get rid of their sort of criminality. The fine kiosks that you can find all around now have a button that allows you to surrender to law enforcement. This gives you the 20% discount of your time served when you go into prison. And as always, this is going to go live and we're going to continue iterating on it, reading feedback and making improvements. So when the first video released and we was talking about Klesha, I was watching HC Vertigo, and he pretty much nailed the mission and who was given it. So I'm not going to spoil it. I don't want to let you know, but yeah, if you want to find out who it is, go check out HC Virgo. Since the last time we talked about Klesha and the new updates to that, things are going along nicely. We have AI walking about. They have loot on them. They're making the environment feel more alive. The black spot is in. The mission is working. In the mission, we've added routes coming out of the wall so that even though people might know how to beeline it out of there, now they have to figure out how to get to this place they've never been to before and break the route they're normally used to, and then have to rejoin, which is the difficult part because we always make the rejoining bit harder and they can fall all the way down or, you know, whatever. So that's it for the updates to Klesha. Check it out when you get a chance.
How have the caves changed since we last spoke about them? Just some bug fixes and some polish work. So yeah, they're done.
So it's been a couple of weeks since the last time we talked about the Daymar crash site, and since then we've mostly been polishing and debugging. We had a go-no-go during which everything went smoothly. We actually noticed during playtests that the missions were too easy, so we just did some tweaking. We added some AI. On the level art side, they were working on some LODs, so how far the objects are going to display. We did a better navigation pass for AI and for the player, and I think we tweaked a little bit the cave, but there's just a crash chip in there, nothing else. We've also been working in integrating all the missions, so there's going to be 3 missions on the Daymar crash site. There's going to be a kill specific, a kill all, and a delivery missions where you need to go in and gather some loot, crates and deliver them. We've also been working on changing up the AI that's there because currently it's the Ninetales and we wanted to add a little bit more diversity in there. So we're working on adding in the Sand Nomads, which are probably not going to be here for this release, but possibly the next one.
Since we last talked about the Siege of Horizon mission last week, we forgot to mention there's also some missions just coming to the islands that the Siege of Horizon takes place on. So these missions are going to take place on the islands when Siege isn't active. The missions we have you doing will take you from building to building, eliminating a number of enemies, or maybe taking out a high value target. These missions are currently just like a prototype, they're very basic, they're just kind of exploring what direction we want to go at for these and other islands. So these will be another small addition when 3.18 goes live.
So there were some questions after we released our last ISC where we talked about hull scraping, and there are some things that I can clarify from our position. So what makes a reclaimer more profitable or better in comparison to the Vulture? For T0 there is no real difference. So the only difference there is you have more space to store your scraped off hull material. But the proper differences only come with salvage T1. So once we talk about munching and actually like converting proper ship debris into smaller bits, the size of the reclaimer is definitely an advantage here. Some comments were all asking about how can we use the scraper beam in an offensive manner. Technically you can, but you have to make sure that the target ship has its shield deactivated. So as long as another ship is shielded, you will not be able to touch the hull because there's like this energy field that is protecting the hull. So there were also some questions on the repair side, and sadly this repair iteration isn't the full fleshed out repair that you might need if your ship is fully destroyed. So if you lost a wing, the wing is lost. If you lost your engine, the engine is lost. So your magically repair gun that right now is taking the hull material to create new hull material, so this gun isn't able to 3D print you an engine, a fully functional engine with all its parts. So what it does is just cover-ups of like your hull. So it increases your health of the ship again, but only to a degree where it is reasonable in comparison to what the hull actually stands for. So the material that you gather with the vehicle can be converted into the material that you use for your multi-tool to repair ships. there's one more thing. So we saw that you were already asking for what about players that are not interested in any combat scenario or in waiting others to shoot themselves to shreds and then picking up the debris pieces for profit from the hull scraping. Well, we have a solution for you. And well, the miners of you might already know it. So we will expand our harvestable system to also facilitate to spawn fresh derelicts. And what are fresh derelicts? Basically, they are just the husks of existing ships that have a probability to spawn in asteroid fields or basically around all the Lagrange points. And you will be able to find them using scanning and then approach them like you would do with a mineable and then scrape off their hull. And that is coming in Alpha 3.18.
So, what did we learn this week? Well, we learned that when you show a feature the very first week of the season, there's lots of room for additional improvements like we saw with RiverTech. That QA can be just as squirrely as players when testing the arena racetrack. That Correa is looking pretty fresh with its Crusader makeover, and that changes to the law system will make Crime Stat 1 and 2 less troublesome to deal with in the future. In theory. And that while hull stripping won't be the offensive weapon some folks were theorizing, using the harvestable system to generate non-combat wrecks will be a welcome addition to the more peaceful-minded citizens out there. Now don't forget that CitizenCon is next Saturday, October 8th at 8 a.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. UTC. It's shaping up to be a really informative quarter day, and not just visual updates that you've come to expect, but more design and gameplay presentations that'll lead the way in the Star Citizen's future. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. We'll see you next week at CitizenCon.
And we're back. So I'm just going to take this in order, starting from the top. Admiral Kusanagi, what are your thoughts about this week's ISC?
Well, this is a big one. I don't know if I wrote a lot down, so I'm not sure if you want to talk. I'll just run through it real quick. RiverTech looks fantastic. You know, it's funny. I took a geology class in college, and I'm like, I was really big into geology, and like to have the where that a river would actually dig into the ground after millennia or longer. That's really cool to see. Let's see, the prison system I think is really cool. The surrender system is interesting. But I would like in the future to see them have a like a randomized mechanic to get out of the prison if you're gonna try to escape like that, because you know most people now just they run pretty much time it, and they try to like break the record of who got out, say it in 5 minutes, and they keep because they know it and everything's on YouTube. So if they had a randomized system where one tunnel kind of switched to another area or another tunnel, then you could actually mitigate that. What else? I still have issues with the NPCs. They're a little wonky when you fight them. It takes like 20 rounds to put some guy down. So, but I imagine with the CPU and the GPUs, taking the place of the CPUs that we talked about earlier, I think that would be kind of mitigate that in the future. But in the end, the last part of this video, I'm a miner, and I do have a vulture that I picked up, and I'm kind of interested in seeing that aspect of the game, and I'm so happy that they're going to have derelicts. And I think even if you're just going to hand mine it, or if you have a vulture or a claimer, it's going to you can make money in it. And I would like to see if the different ship hulls have different values, like Quantanium is for certain people, or Terranite, or Agrosium. So would a 600i, if I throw that out there, have a different value hull compared to a Redeemer that they showed being stripped in the show right there. So that's it.
Thank you for that. I was remiss, I was supposed to do this before I started with the people, but I want to say thank you to Burst25 for the raid. If anyone of the raiders want to come in and chat with us, click on the link below and come in there and talk about this week's ISC. We'd love to hear your thoughts. BBG, Big Black Gaming, what are your thoughts about this week's ISC?
Well, one of the things that I think was important to note was that Jared said at the beginning and the end, that this was something that they hadn't really done before. in terms of inside Star Citizen. This idea of, when we hear about something at the beginning of the quarter, a lot of work can happen during the quarter. So I really encourage CIG to do this at the end of every quarter, to give us this type of update, because when you give us this type of update and the language comes from the engineers and developers who are working on the features, I think we get a much more intimate sense of where things are, and when we see them, what we can anticipate them looking like. I like this type of update a lot. Specifically, Will Haynes' work ongoing on Rivers, I think, is going to be incredible. I feel like he's the type of cat that comes at the CIG leadership and says, I've got this iteration on Rivers. And every time they go, well, go ahead and implement that, he's got another one in his pocket ready to take it to the next level. Because he is steady iterating on these Rivers, and they're letting him run with that. I'm glad that this is the type of studio that allows that creative freedom. It's great stuff. When we heard about Sand Caves, Sebastian Schroeder with Sand Caves, he was like, we're just tweaking it. We're pretty much done. You're going to get that. It's done. That's a great feeling. That's a great thing to hear in this space. And then, of course, as I said earlier, I'm really excited about the derelict spaces, the PTV, the Gray Cat Racing, and I appreciate the update on what salvage repair will really mean, right? In that, you're not going to be able to 3D print with your little gun a brand new engine or a wing, right? That for me makes sense in terms of the evolution of it. And they did need to go deeper, as they did, on the difference between what it will really mean to have a reclaimer out in that space and a vulture, and what value you should be getting from a reclaimer, and how we're not going to see a lot of that at the beginning, but over the long term, we're going to see that in spades. So I really appreciated this session, and I'd like to see them do that at the end of every quarter.
Yeah, I think that might maybe something that they're willing to do. Like they said, this was a test case, so if they get positive responses like yours, they may just do that. Thank you. Face to face, what are your thoughts about this week's ISC?
Excuse me. Yeah, I have to agree with BBG on on the quarterly update. I would like to see something more like this more often with the quarters, to kind of give us some general information. Definitely love the point of fact of the confidence on the Sand Caves. It's like, yeah, we're done. Nothing else to be said. But anyway, I'm definitely looking forward to the racing with the go-karts.
Yeah.
I definitely am, because even though there's no gambling right now per se in the game, hopefully players will, set something up.
You just want to be the bookie. That's all that is.
There you go. Exactly. I mean, you got to get your cut. Got to get your cut.
You and GoMap can just set up a company or whatever.
There you go. Get your cut. So, I mean, that'd be cool. And everything to see that go on. River Tech, love to see, like BBG said, them allowing folks to, shine, where they shine at, and do their thing. And with that being said, I'm gonna leave it at that. Everything was great to see.
Thank you for that. Hot in Space, what are your thoughts?
Yeah. Excuse me. The rivers look great. It made me think of gameplay around the rivers. We discussed the bot that possibly may do some type of pan mining or something like that in the rivers. Made me think about some whitewater rafting, other activities around the water. And one thing I want to see how well they do waterfalls. I'm waiting to see. I'm really waiting to see that. How well?
Yeah. You have high expectations for that.
Yeah. I've seen them do water in other games, and water I know is very difficult. So
Water
you
and
know,
fire,
yeah. I'm really want to see how well they can do.
I mean, if they can do water as well as they can do fire, I have high hopes.
Yeah, because their fire did look really good.
Their fire looks like it's on fire.
Yeah, it did when during the siege. So yeah, I'm waiting for that. Yeah, caves done, mic drop. Hey, I'm out. Let me see what else was there. That's all I can remember right now. But it was the racetrack. Yeah, it was great. But the water really got me. I like that little cap and
cool
thing.
All right, thank you for that. You out of smoke. What are your thoughts about this week ISC?
Again, I agree with BBG about like this was very well crafted and like reflecting on the community and what's been going on this whole quarter. But for the rivers, I'm so glad to see this. Like the size of the river, because that gives me hope for like proper cliffs and like giant mountain edges to low fly around, to race around. That also for like climbing mountains. Like people talk trash about the bedcloth deformation stuff from months ago, but that's gonna help when we get ropes. Like we can climb up and down mountains and pull people out from holes in the caves. Like that's gonna help out with that. And so that was great to see. I'm glad that's coming. The racetrack looks great. I'll enjoy how colorful it is. The respawn on the go-karts was great. I kind of wondered about how that was going to work since we can't really get in there with our own. But that's dope. The Siege of Orison changes and like them being regular missions now. That's dope. That's exciting. I live on Orison. Don't sound like I need to ever leave Orison. The surrender button is a great touch. I don't think I've ever heard anyone talk about that. That is a great little touch. So like, I don't see myself ever using it, but it's great for people that use the kiosk because I forget so many times that is even an option in the game. Real talk. Like, oh yeah, you can pay fines. What? No, I don't care. I'd rather go to prison. No.
Right.
Adding a new route in the prison is awesome. It doesn't change anything. Once people figure out the path, that's it. That's over with. But it's great to have more options on how to get out. I appreciate that. More options. Like I want it to get to a point where it can be a maze. Multitude of options. That way, when people make their videos, you have to keep track of which video you saw. Because Admiral said he wants to brought up like he wanted to be more procedural and change out. That sounds like a lot of work. A lot more work. It kind of goes against the spirit of the game, but that's a lot more work for just have that area be procedural. But if we can get it to us like what's that movie? Pan's Labyrinth? Not that one. The other one with David Bowie. I can't think of it right now. No, it's just Labyrinth. Yeah, it is just Labyrinth. Like that sounds amazing. Like we even have maybe have wall shift. Maybe we could do it that way. Like the whole facility like rotates.
Well, if there was a reason for it, like say like
true.
If they could put that in there, so if you you go through it at like 2 p.m. Local time, and it's this way, and I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, but they would have to change the whole facility, like make it bigger and like make it more like something from like Chronicles of Reddit.
We'll say like a heat exchanger. Like if a heat exchanger gets hot around this time of day, then it's not safe to go like that direction. And then, then when it blows off that heat, and then it's safe to do that. I mean, there's different ways I think they could do it, but To have like one route that's like the route to go all the time, I think it's just kind of like.
And
Yeah,
I
I think
agree.
I think they do it better.
They definitely can, and it's good to see that they're thinking that in that direction. And then I can't wait to see more of that.
You right? Do you would do any type of booby traps or?
Oh yeah, well there's already a few booby traps up in there. That and one of my favorite things about the prison is like the little stories that they have in there with like people that tried to escape and didn't make it. Those are always like more of those will be like chef's kiss. Like
BBG, it's okay for you to say things.
Oh, host
when it's other people's turn to talk, I just want to be quiet, but I want to get it. I also want to get it out, so I use that chat.
But hole scraping, that is so funny. Making something, introducing a little aspect just for the PvE community that doesn't want to be involved in combat. I hope those people hire escorts, because that sounds like a pirate trap immediately. Oh, every derelict is gonna be campers everywhere, hoping someone comes.
Right,
But
put booby traps in that. Yeah.
I hope they get them some escorts, because wow. Okay. That's it.
All right. Thank you for that. Yeah, my thought for the big thing for me is that this is going to be the last ISC for a while. This happens, every quarter or every once in a while. So it's always a drag for me because I look forward to this every week, the ISC. So hopefully they'll be back soon with more. I like the river check, the river update that they gave, like a lot of people here said. And the PTV racetrack update, I'm all there for that. I'm still hoping that we'll be able to customize the PTV, but I guess they're gonna wait for the new PTV before they'll let us do that. Because I mean, how we'll be able to tell one dealer from apart when we're watching or spectating. I appreciate the clarification on handheld repair. I thought that was important. So yeah, thank you for that. Appreciate it. But yeah, other than that, started ISC, it's a long one. I'm running long ones from a while, because this harkens back to the old days when, they went like 20 30 minutes. But yeah, I appreciate that this ISC, I liked it. All right, any thoughts before we move on? Go ahead.
No, it did make me think, FC. Well, first of all, I don't know who thought that you could print an engine with a gun, but hey, hey.
This is the internet. Everyone will have their own ideas through craft or what's going to be able to do. I can just imagine someone saying, "Oh yeah, with the gun we'll be able to repair our own engine." Yeah, I could see someone saying that.
Might as well have magic in the game. Then
hey, well, I mean, we have technology. When technology becomes so advanced, it becomes indistinguishable from magic, right?
Yeah, just drop some dust and your engine, fairy dust, and your engine comes back. No, but my question is this: does anybody think that we will have any type of force situations? Let's say if you're out and you hit an asteroid or some space junk, maybe we might have repair kits, or just really have to just bring the what is that, the crucible? Just have to call for the crucible. I wonder if we'll be able to.
It depends on whether or not to knock out your engine, or you have some other way to get to where you're going. But if they knock out your engine, you probably have to call for help. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Or quantum, yeah. Anyone else? All right. So yeah, thank you for that. So up next we're gonna watch the Machinima. This is from EE Studios, called Star Citizen, Immersive, ASMR, Rising Shine. So yeah, let's get to that. And this one is 7 minutes, so it's not that long. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Here we go.
Ops. Just calling to check on the damage for the Nomad.
Last calling to Ops. What? Say what again?
The bill. How much is it?
Nomad calling SysOps. Our system, we're having some issues. You'll have to come inside and do it the old-fashioned way. Sorry for the inconvenience. HDS admins ATIS information November. Weather 1000 Zulu. Winds 270 at 15. Visibility 20. Ceiling broken at 250. Scattered at 150. Temperature 2.5. Altimeter 3001. All pads are operational. Airspace securing threat flow. Contact Edmonds FBO for services. Clearance on 121.30.
And I'm ready to go to bed after that. Let's go free for all here. What are people's thoughts? Anyone can go. Oh, and if you want to join us, make sure you click the link below to join us in chat to tell us what you think about this week's Machinima. Go ahead.
What was the title of this?
Star Citizen Immersive ASMR Rise and Shine.
Sleepy time.
It should have been called the Nomad Life, but I liked it though. I did. I liked it because it gave you a chance to see certain things, the facial expressions. It was a story that wasn't about a story. It was just about everyday things you do. And
not just see certain things, but hear certain things too.
Yeah, that's true. And I didn't know you could lay in the bed like that. I thought you had to be on your back. But hey, I like to see things like that. Mm-hmm.
I didn't even think about that. You're right. I haven't seen anybody on their side before.
Yeah. Oh, you can't. Okay, because I was curious. I'm like, I didn't know you could lay on your side. Can you?
I've seen other videos. Like I found out about it by watching Soul Citizens and other older videos.
But you have to be in. Do you have to be in civilian clothes to see that? Because I don't know how do you do that.
I don't know.
Sleeper mode. Oh, okay. There's a sleeper mode.
You said you sleep to lay on your side.
Yeah.
You sleep remote in the bed. When you sleep remote in the bed, that's when you do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
They could have got a pillow, to make my neck hurt sleeping.
No,
I gotta be honest.
No matter, it's only a $90 ship, so
no,
it's pretty cheap.
No pillow.
It's one of the best ships out there. Really, it is fantastic.
It is a good ship.
Like all the amenities it has. You get you can put a rock in the back. To do it's just a lot you can use it with. But it was funny because
go ahead.
I was just saying before we watched this here, I was like, "What's this Machinima ASMR?" I was really like, "Oh boy, what is this going to be?" So I watched it while we were really quick while the stream was going on, and I'm like kind of like fast forwarding. I'm like, "Oh boy," that's why I kind of like gave a warning. I'm like, "Hey, this is going to be slow a bit, but like." It's worth a watch. Hang out, and now that I even seen it, in full, like the full thing, I didn't hear her going to the bathroom at first. I didn't hear her coffee pot going off while she was going to the bathroom. It was just I enjoyed this more the second time, but it was like the full first experience of it, just taking it all in, and her again waking up, and you have her sleeping, and that's how you get here. This is the same group that put together where she's the this is the same voice actor who's that crazy robot chick now.
Right,
so that's the whole group. So it's like,
continuation of
wow. Yeah, I'm like, is that the same lady? I'm like, oh my god, it is.
And
this is EE Studio Delete Expedition. Go ahead, Pops.
Okay. Now, when she was standing there with the guy at the terminal, and she was just letting she was frustrated, and her arms were just kind of flapping around. Can you do that? I mean, I guess you can, but I didn't know you could do movement like that in the game.
I guess it's come up.
Be like an emote.
Is that
probably an emote?
Oh, I didn't know they had an emote like that.
Yeah, the emotes have gotten really good.
Okay.
When they work.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, you're talking about like this? Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And I really, the shot with her face, and it was like, but it made you wonder, and it made you look at the I think it's this part where and she just put the little smirk on her face. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. I just noticed watching it the second time through that her eyes moved. I mean, I know Toby eye tracking and VoIP and all that is pretty impressive, but yeah.
I actually watched this before. I didn't know if you guys were going to air it. I was like, will they? I was kind of like 50-50. But I actually watched this, and I kind of got started to get into ASMR. It helps to relax you, and it's really good. It's really good.
Yeah, they just dropped yesterday. Go ahead, Pops.
Oh, in the in the beginning when they did the rain, I was like, okay, good use of finding a rain sound, because I don't think there's rain unless I've missed something. I don't think it's rain sounds in the game.
Oh no, that was fake.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Because something like I said, this just dropped yesterday, so you're quick on the draw, Griffin, on getting this, letting us see this today. I was wondering what ship that it became the Nomad. That they showed us that later. And is that what a Nomad really sounds like? The engine is pretty. I don't want to say impressive, but distinct.
Does it though? I don't know because I've never really listened to the Nomad engine. But when I listened to it, I thought it was sound design. I mean, obviously it's sound design, even in the game.
Right.
But I don't know. I mean, if it is, I mean, but either way, it sounds good. It was, it's a good engine sound.
Griffin says yes. I'm guessing that he's answering me about the Nomad sound. So yeah, thank you for that.
Okay. Cool.
And yeah, going to second and third time too without the sound, you lose something. Because this one really depends on the sound to make this a complete not picture but video. Oh yeah, that was pretty impressive. That was again Star Citizen Immersive ASMR Rising Sound from EE Studios. And thank you, Griffin, for pointing that to us. That was pretty cool. I'm still ready to go to bed after that. All right, so up next we've come to the end of the show. I just want to say, Griffin and Soul Citizen sponsoring a Chicago Bar Citizen. That's Saturday, November 5th. 2 full-sided. You got the address on the screen. Hopefully, Chris Nagy will put the information in chat. There he goes. Thank you for that. And you want to click on the Eventbrite notification, and you'll get confirmation email back. So yeah, that's the Chicago Bar Citizen, November 5th, Saturday. But before that, we have.
Oh, looks like Maiden is doing this one.
Oh yeah, okay, cool. Oh, Maiden's hosting. Okay, we just helping. Okay, cool. Yeah, Maiden Ariana is hosting. Thank you for the correction. Also, we have save the date, October 8th, 2022, 7:30 a.m. Pacific Time, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, 2:30 p.m. UTC. We're having a Star Citizen watch party on Soul Citizen. That's this channel. It should be on Twitch and YouTube. So Soul Citizen watch party for that. Join us for that. Should be a whole day of festivities and talks and hype and yeah, what have you. Hopefully people can join us for that. It should be interesting. Anybody here going to be hanging out with us for that?
Yes.
Cool. Yeah. And the week after that, we have October 15th, 3 p.m. Eastern to 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm looking at someone specific when I say that. See, I told y'all that I was going to address it first. 9 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. To 1 a.m. UTC. No exceptions, okay? That's the virtual bar citizen. Digi Citizen Con. So join us for that. Thank you for putting the information in chat for me, Andrew Kuznagi. So yeah, 6 hours. Okay, just 6.
6 plus hours, yes.
No. Because we want to get the information correct, because someone out there, I'm not going to name names, said the wrong time the other day, and I'm like, 3 p.m. Eastern to 9 p.m. Eastern. So join us for that. Should be fun. I don't know how many people we have registered. Griffin, I don't know if you want to tell me in Discord or put it in chat. I'm just curious how many people we got registered so far. And after that, we have...
Is there a pre-party for that? Where I can get hors d'oeuvres and stuff like that?
If you order it now, yeah, you probably get that.
Okay, I want a pre-party, so okay.
Yeah, bring your
meet up in chat.
BYOB.
Exactly. All right, so join us Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. UTC for Soul Voices. That is Griffin Gaming Show, where we talk one-on-one with Griffin and whoever the guest may be that week. We cover different topics from Spectrum, Reddit, and something from the industry. So join us for that on Saturday. That is part of Podcast Saturday. We kick off with Soul Voices at 3 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. UTC. Then we go to Astropub for the Captain Table, 6 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. UTC. And then enough that whole day with Relay Station at 9 p.m. Eastern, 1 a.m. UTC. So that should be fun.
Looks like we're going to Space Tomato this week.
Okay. Oh, for the raid, cool. Thank you.
No, I think we're going to Space Tomato this week. That's what he's talking about. Is that the Saturday show or?
We'll talk about that later. Okay.
He's talking in chat. I'm just wondering. Saturday show is okay.
Okay. Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you for that. I was like, what? I didn't see that. That's a good for chat. Thank you for that. Next show is on Sunday. Escort service, 100% real ship. Call anytime, 24/7. 800 Soul Citizen. Sunday, 10 p.m. East. Sunday, October 2nd. This Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, midnight UTC. We'll talk about escorting in the verse. I'm like who's interested and what are the logistics and everything going about that, and who will hire them. So it should be an interesting show. So that's Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Let me see. I have it. Oh, BBG, you're going to be off. He had to drop out, but BBG is going to be on that show, so it should be a fun show. And we also have reaction and reviews on the YouTube channel, so check those out. And tell us what you think. Leave a comment. If you want to become a Soul Bro, Soul Sister, Soulmate to support us, Soul Citizen, membership has the privilege. Click on the join button on YouTube below us. And you want to subscribe to us on Twitch, that's another way to support us. We also have Patreon, and links should be below. I just want to say thank you for everyone who joined us. Abba Kusanagi, Face to Face, BBG, Hopping Face, and Rider Smoke, and everyone who watched and chatted with us and YouTube and Twitch. We appreciate you. If you want to follow us on social media, we're Soul Citizens everywhere with the S on the end. We sell merchandise. We sell t-shirts, hats, mugs, shot glasses, and water bottles. So yeah, hit our merch store down below. And make sure you hit like, subscribe, or follow, depending on what platform you're following us. And I think that's about it. So yes, this is fastcart, not good enough for snobs. So thank you for everyone, and make sure you say hello to Toad Group and when you get there. And with that, peace, love, and soul. Take care, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Good night.
Take care. 12 midnight.
Alright, went through. Just want to make sure before I close everything off. There we go. I'm putting things down.